FastMCP 3 implements a callable-based authorization system that operates through composable auth checks, each receiving an auth context containing the current token and component metadata. This declarative approach enables fine-grained access control via built-in checks like require auth, require scopes, and restrict tag, while supporting custom logic through the AuthCheck type alias. The upcoming code artifact will reveal how these authorization primitives are imported and structured, establishing the foundation for both component-level filtering and server-wide enforcement through AuthMiddleware. You'll observe the type signatures and utility functions that enable and logic composition of multiple checks, all while maintaining compatibility with OAuth, tokens, and HTTP transports. From FastMCP server auth import. Access token, hash token with token, cliented, scopes expires at, claims. AuthContext, hash context with token, component. AuthCheck, hash type alias, callable AuthContext, bool. Require auth, hash built-in, requires any valid token. Require scopes, hash built-in, requires specific scopes. Restrict tag, hash built-in, tag-based scope requirements. Run auth checks, hash utility, run checks with and logic. From FastMCP server middleware, import AuthMiddleware. This code artifact demonstrates FastMCP 3's authorization system, which implements a callable-based pattern for access control. The system revolves around AuthCheck functions that receive an auth context and return a Boolean to determine access. This design provides flexibility, allowing developers to create custom authorization logic while leveraging built-in checks like require auth, require scopes, and restrict tag. The authorization model uses AND logic when combining multiple checks, meaning all checks must pass for access to be granted. This approach is particularly useful for implementing granular access control, where different components may require different levels of authorization. The AuthMiddleware class enables server-wide enforcement of these checks, ensuring consistent authorization across all components. The system's design reflects a balance between simplicity and extensibility. By using callable functions for authorization checks, FastMCP allows for complex authorization logic without sacrificing readability or maintainability. The use of AuthContext provides access to both the current token and the component being accessed, enabling context-aware authorization decisions. This pattern is especially valuable in production environments where fine-grained access control is essential. Let's break it down. From FastMCP server auth import. Access token, hash token with token, cliented, scopes expires at, claims. Imports the access token class from FastMCP server auth, which represents an authentication token containing attributes like the token string itself, client ID, associated scopes, expiration time, and custom claims. AuthContext, hash context with token, component. Imports AuthContext, a class that provides authentication context containing token and component information for authorization checks. AuthCheck, hash type alias, callable auth context, bool. Defines a type alias AuthCheck, representing a callable that takes an auth context parameter and returns a Boolean. This establishes a standardized signature for authentication check functions in the system. Require auth, hash built-in, requires any valid token. References the built-in require auth authorization check that verifies any valid authentication token must be present for access to proceed. This single check will deny all unauthenticated requests while allowing any request that includes a valid token, regardless of scopes or other claims. Require scopes, hash built-in, requires specific scopes. Imports the require scopes, AuthCheck from FastMCP's built-in authorization utilities. This function enforces scope-based authorization by verifying that the authentication token contains all specified OAuth scopes, with all scopes being required for access.
Restrict tag hash built-in. Tag-based scope requirements.
References the built-in restrict tag, AuthCheck for tag-based scope requirements, which conditionally enforces scope restrictions only on components with specific tags.
Run AuthCheck's hash utility. Run checks with AND logic.
References a utility function that executes multiple authentication checks with AND logic, requiring all checks to pass for successful authorization.
From FastMCP server middleware, import AuthMiddleware.
Imports the AuthMiddleware class from the FastMCP server middleware module, which provides server-wide authorization enforcement capabilities. FastMCP3's authorization system centers around composable AuthCheck functions that operate on an auth context, providing a declarative approach to access control. The AuthContext serves as the bridge between authentication tokens and component metadata, enabling context-aware decisions. Built-in checks like require auth, require scopes, and restrict tag cover common patterns, while the AuthCheck type alias allows for custom logic when needed. These checks combine using AND logic via run AuthChecks, ensuring all conditions must be satisfied for access. The AuthMiddleware then applies these checks globally, enforcing consistent authorization across components. This design balances simplicity with extensibility, standardizing authorization through callable functions while supporting both coarse-grained and fine-grained control. The key insight is that by treating authorization as composable predicates on a shared context, FastMCP achieves flexibility without sacrificing clarity or maintainability.
The AuthContext carries the token's secrets, but the gate demands a claim that refuses to exist.